Hi, welcome to Triple R Ministries. We will be discussing the topics of Jacob's journey to Egypt, Jacob settles in Goshen, Joseph deals with the famine, Joseph's vow to Jacob, Jacob blesses Joseph's sons, Jacob's last words to his sons, Jacob's death and burial, Joseph reassures his brothers, and the death of Joseph. Okay, so Jacob took all that he had and he's headed to Egypt to see his son Joseph, whom he thought was dead, but he knows now is alive. Now, along the way, Joseph stopped at Beersheba to offer sacrifices to God, and God appeared to Jacob at night through visions of the night, and told Jacob to go down to Egypt. He'll make him he'll make him a great people there, and God told Jacob that he will go to Egypt with him. Okay, and Jacob went ahead and continued his journey. Took all of his family with him, totaling it was a total of 70 people in his family. They came to meet Joseph came to meet his father Jacob, and he wept on his neck for a good while. And Joseph told his brothers to tell Pharaoh that they're shepherds and to ask to dwell in the land of Goshen. Okay, in Genesis chapter 47, Joseph presented his brothers to Pharaoh, and they did as Joseph said. They said they were shepherds and asked to dwell in Goshen. And Pharaoh told Joseph if any one of his brothers are found worthy or competent to make them the head herdsmen over Pharaoh's livestock as well. Then Joseph brought Jacob, his father, in to meet Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. They had a brief dialogue and went about their business. Okay. Now Joseph deals with the famine. The famine at this time was very severe, and it got to the point where the people in the land of Egypt spent all of their money on grain. So then they had to start using their livestock to buy grain. They sold all their livestock, so they started selling their land to buy grain. They sold all their land, so they started actually selling themselves into slavery to buy grain. And it came to the point where they had nothing else to give. So Joseph was like, look, all right, this is what we're going to do. Like after the famine stops, since y'all don't have no more money, I'm enforcing a tax. Everybody has to give 1/5 of all of their of their harvest. Everybody has to give 1/5 of their harvest to Pharaoh, like forever, you know. And they like, oh, God bless you, because of you we can live and all of this stuff. And it is said that that 1/5 tax is still set in place in current times. Okay. Now Joseph lived in Egypt in the land of Goshen with his son Joseph, not with Joseph, but near his son Joseph. He lived there for 17 years. Okay. He called Joseph into him because he was near his death, and he told Joseph to bury him with his fathers. Okay. And Jacob then proceeded to bow himself on his bed to his son Joseph, as Joseph had dreamed a long time ago. Anyway, Genesis chapter 48. Jacob blesses Joseph's sons. So after this dialogue about where to bury me and stuff like that, Jacob told Joseph about the promises that God made to him, that God promised Jacob that he will give to his family the land of Canaan as an everlasting possession. Okay? And Jacob then told Joseph of his mother's death, Rachel, okay, and how that happened. You know, she gave birth to Benjamin and died along the way, okay, and our burial place and things of that nature. Okay, then Jacob proceeded to bless Joseph's sons. He blessed the younger son with the greater blessing, although it was traditional to bless the older son with the greater blessing. But he blessed both of Joseph's sons, but the younger was blessed with the greater blessing. He then proceeded to give Joseph the one portion of an inheritance above all of his brothers. So, yeah. All right, Genesis chapter 49. Jacob's last words to his sons. Basically, Jacob cursed Reuben. He cursed Reuben, Simeon, and Levi. He cursed Reuben because Reuben slept with one of his concubines. And he cursed Simeon and Levi because they killed a whole town of people due to the Dinah incident. That's in a previous video. Basically, somebody raped their sister, and Reuben and Simeon wouldn't kill everybody. So their father cursed them as a consequence. But the rest of the brothers were blessed. And there was a lot of brothers because there was Rachel and Leah. And Rachel and Leah both had handmaids, okay? And all of them had kids. Rachel, Leah, and all the handmaids, they all had kids by Jacob. So it was a lot of them. All right. Now, Jacob's death and burial. Jacob then again charged his sons, hey, bury me with my fathers, okay? And he breathed his last breath after giving commands to his sons, and he died at 147 years old. Genesis chapter 50, he was embalmed, and Egypt mourned for him. The entire land of Egypt mourned for him, and there was a great funeral, and he was buried with his fathers, okay? Now Joseph's brothers were scared that Joseph might now turn and kill them now that their father's dead. You know, Joseph don't have to worry about what their father would think. So they're like, oh man, our brother finna kill us. So Joseph reassured his brothers, like, no, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna take care of you and stuff like this. All right. Now time passes and gets to the point Joseph is 110 years old and he's about to die. And, you know, he told his people, hey, God will come and visit us again, and he will take you out of this land to the land of Canaan, like he promised. And it will be an everlasting possession. But, you know, he charged them that when God does take them out to take his bones with them, he didn't want to be left in Egypt. Joseph didn't want to be left in Egypt. So he breathed his last breath and died at the age of 110. And that concludes this series of videos, the entire book of Genesis, chapters 1 through 50. Thanks for listening. God bless. Take care.